Hey yo, it's your boy Caleko. Today on Mining America, we're going to be talking about emeralds, rubies, sapphires, Tanzanite, Australian rainbow lattice sunstones, and the fantastic Oregon sunstone. Watch out for those scams. They're out there everywhere, calling your phone, sending you messages, they're in your email box, and they're even on eBay. More of that right after this. So I poke around eBay every now and then, a little bit here and there, and I poke around Etsy every now and then, a little bit here and there, and I don't do a lot of buying, but I do a little bit of looking, and it's because they show me things that I should be interested in. They're always sending me emails. Both Etsy and eBay are constantly sending me emails about, hey, you might be interested in this. Just like Amazon. Amazon sends me emails about stuff I've already looked at or stuff I've already put in my cart. And they're like, hey, maybe you like this. I bought one. So they're like, hey, maybe you want to buy this one. It's constant. Yet on eBay specifically, not so much on Etsy and not so much on Amazon, but on eBay specifically, I've run into all kinds of scams around gemstones. Doesn't seem like rocks. It seems like rocks in general, I can see the real rocks that are for sale, but gemstones, there are a ton of flagrantly fraudulent sellers on eBay. And eBay has given these people really high ratings. Inside of their pictures, inside of their pictures of their auctions and of their sales, they'll have a picture from eBay congratulating them on what a great seller they are. And they'll have made thousands of sales. And yet when I go through their inventory, they are obviously fake gemstones. And when I go through some of their comments, they're a lot of people that are leaving comments about how they got ripped off. And somehow, some of these sellers have to be able to get rid of these comments. They have to be able to get rid of comments on there where people have been ripped off and they're unhappy and they leave bad comments. Yet, for some reason, most of these sellers still have well over 95% of good feedback. And that makes no sense to me. Like, it makes no sense to me that these sellers can be selling obviously fake gemstones and promoting them as if they're natural. They even say natural, yet the prices, for one, absolutely give it away. That's one thing. The prices on some of these things, they're just obviously not real. Yet there's some of these other sellers that have done things to try and make their fake gemstones look real. They have started to add the flaws that would be in some gemstones, and they have started to try and make some of them look like rough and sell the rough. And I don't know if it's glass, I don't know if it's epoxy, I don't know if it's just agate that's been dyed really well, but I do know this: they're not real, they're fake, they're scams, and let me show you some of the stuff that I'm talking about. Now, with one of the first sellers we're going to start with, and one of the first types of gemstones that I want to talk about, is the Oregon Sunstone. And the reason we're going to start with that is because it's one of my favorites. It's one that I have, and it's also one of the stones that I had heard is possible to be faked, that they can take actual natural Oregon sunstones and turn them into orangish red looking sunstones through some type of treatment, yet they sell them fraudulently like this guy Gems Bazaar is. And whether these are glass or dyed agate or feldspar that has in some way been treated to make it look red, this guy is even photoshopping really poorly cut stones with these white Photoshop triangles to try and make it look like it's a better stone than it is. Yet, when you look at the cuts are really poorly done. With the naked eye, you can see they're sort of wobbly and they're not straight good cuts at all. But almost every one of his sunstones that he has for sale has this garbage photoshopped section of them, which is obviously photoshopped. Like, it's it's so ridiculously obvious that it's photoshopped that I sort of wonder what people are thinking when they purchase anything from a seller like this. Now, one of the dead giveaways that these Sunstones are absolutely fake is the price. The price is just too good to be true. It's insanely good for a natural sunstone that was mined by an American in Oregon. They would not sell their stones as cheap as what these people are trying to sell them on eBay. If you're going to buy an Oregon sunstone, and if you're going to buy it on eBay, try and find a seller that is actually in America, and preferably one that is out of Oregon. I know there's at least one person that is a mine owner that sells their gemstones on eBay at a relatively good price, but they're definitely not 7-carat gem grade stones for $50 because they don't sell their stuff at those prices. The gemstones are way too nice to go for almost free. Now this seller, Ravenstein Investment Gems, his stones all seem extremely authentic to me. They seem the proper amount of price and a very fair to inexpensive price for the stones he's selling on eBay. Now, some of the stones are up at the high end of what stones should sell for, but that depends on what the stone looks like and how good the cut is. Unlike these stones that are from these fraudulent sellers in India, most of these stones are absolute garbage, and it's really easy to tell that the seller is fraudulent based off of the prices. The big thing here is do not buy an Oregon sunstone from any seller out of India because you're probably not going to be getting an authentic Oregon sunstone. Hell, I'm not sure what you're going to get. Now that last statement pretty much goes for all of the faceted gemstones and even some of the rough that I've seen from almost all of these sellers from India. Emeralds are one of my favorite gemstones. I've been in love with emeralds ever since I was a kid because green has been my favorite color. It's also one of my son's favorite colors. We love the color green, and emeralds used to be one of the only gemstones I knew that had the color green because I only knew of a few gemstones when I was very young. Now, one thing I've known about emeralds ever since I was very young is they are not cheap. And one of the reasons they are not cheap is because they are extremely rare gemstone on this planet. They are one of the rarest gemstones, especially when it comes to gem grade quality. They're extremely hard to come by and not cheap at all, especially not as cheap as some of these pictures would lead you to believe at $13 for a whole bunch of carats, or $10 for a 150 carat piece of rough, or $4 for a 50 carat beautiful, rich, green, natural Zambia emerald loose rough gemstone. It's a lie. That's glass. It's probably a melted Coke bottle or Sprite bottle or squirt bottle or whatever glass bottle would be green like that. It's one of those. This is definitely not a genuine emerald. And I feel sorry for the people that would purchase something like this actually thinking that it is. The price is the first dead giveaway for me, but when I look at these gemstones, the other thing that is the perfect dead giveaway for me is the quality of the way this stone looks. It looks flawless. It looks amazingly clear. Well, there's no chance in hell that an emerald is that clear. Emeralds are one of the most flawed stones on the planet. Even really great, really expensive emeralds, they have some flaws in them because that's just the way emeralds go. Emeralds tend to be a little bit soft, and with the flaws in them, they can be broken much easier than other gemstones. These are fake as hell, no question. And look at this piece of rough right here. They went and rolled this fake-ass rough into some gravel of some kind, and one of the easiest ways to tell that this rough is fake is it's square. Natural emeralds aren't square. They're a hexagon or an octagon, or they're one of those gons I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but I promise you this, they're not square, and they don't look like they were rolled in burnt kitty litter like these square bricks were. This is a joke. These are either pieces of glass that got rolled in some sort of kitty litter looking stones, or they are possibly some sort of epoxy, but I guarantee you they are not genuine emeralds. It's a horrible trick. Don't fall for it. This is absolute garbage, and I have no understanding of how eBay allows this crap. Now, some of these sellers have gotten good about faking some of their gemstones, like these emeralds. These emeralds actually have the look of a really top quality, flawed emerald stone. You can see that they're not clear and perfect like glass, yet there's no way that these things are legitimate or authentic or real in any way, shape, or form. They are some kind of created crap of one kind or another that has been made to look like a top quality, flawed emerald gemstone. They're not real. Don't buy it. And how can eBay even give a seller like this awards? Yet here it is, right here, an eBay certificate of achievement for being a fantastic seller on eBay and selling people lies and cheating them with these fake-ass wannabe certificates of authenticity, which are just garbage. It's straight garbage. Once again, don't buy it. I think I've done enough ranting on these fake-ass emeralds. This stuff pisses me off. Somebody needs to kick these guys in the balls. And the reality is I could do this all day because there is a ton of these sellers from India selling every kind of amazing gemstone out there, but it's completely and totally fake. Sapphires, all kinds of colors, totally fake, totally crap, totally garbage, because nobody sells a great looking sapphire like that that's a natural gemstone for 40 bucks for 7 carats. It just doesn't happen. It's just not legitimate. These guys are the worst kind of scam artists, and the biggest question is, why the hell does eBay allow this to happen? How are these guys able to scam people every day and them not get booted off of eBay? It makes no sense to me. I don't know what's going on, but somebody needs to be fired because this shit is ridiculous. And here we go again. Perfectly flawless Tanzanite, 8 to 10 carats, 17 bucks, and free shipping. They're going to ship it to you for free all the way from India, and you're only going to pay under $20 for 8 to 10 carats of flawless Tanzanite. Yeah, right. If it sounds too good to be true, finish that sentence for me. You know what it says. Now, the last faceted gemstone I'm going to rant about right here is these rubies. You couldn't go to Burma and buy rubies that look this good at this size for this price. No way in hell. The Burmese have a whole industry based around trying to pull these rubies out of the ground, and they're even rare in Burma. Rubies, nice gem grade rubies, they're super rare. Now this last one, I have no idea how the hell they pulled this one off. These, what you're seeing, are supposed to be, as the caption says, natural rainbow lattice sunstones from Australia. Now, this kind of sunstone goes for high prices. Sometimes the rough goes for even higher prices than the Oregon sunstone does, which is lost on me because I think the Oregon sunstone is an amazing gemstone, especially the green and teal blue ones. Yet these that you're seeing right here, these are absolutely fake. I have no confidence in the fact that these are real rainbow lattice sunstones from Australia. I have total confidence that all of these sellers that are from India that are selling this gemstone are liars, like with all the other gemstones. Like, this must be some sort of metal flake, hematite, confetti, fake glitter that they mixed up and put in some epoxy or something. I have no understanding of how they make these things. I'm just absolutely confident that, like the last stones that I was talking about, that they're not real at all. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that there's no crisscrossing lattice in any of these sunstones that are coming from Australia. These rainbow lattice sunstones, they don't have the proper pattern in them as the normal rainbow lattice sunstones that come from Australia. Australia tends to have this crisscrossing lattice pattern in it that is different. And the other thing I notice about these sunstones is that they tend to have a lot of red in them. Like they're like a reddish, pinkish color inside of the cut stones. The rainbow lattice sunstones I see from Australia, they don't really seem to have that amount of red in them. And the lattice likes to crisscross a lot. There's a lot of crisscrossing lattice in it, and the rainbow effect is a bit different. It's not so confetti looking or glittery looking. Like these ones, they look like they have glitter. The other thing is, look how gold these pieces of rough look. Like they just don't quite look right to me. I'm not sure how they're created, but I'm really confident in my assumption, and yes, this is an assumption, that these are not real Australian rainbow lattice sunstones. I think they've found some way to treat some mineral, or that they're making them using epoxy and glitter and something like that, but I'm convinced they're not real. Now here, let's go look at a seller that I know sells authentic rainbow lattice sunstones, and we'll see what they look like in the rough. Now, as you can tell from some of these I've scrolled through, they're definitely rough. And do you see how the crisscrossing of the color goes? You can see the rainbow in it, yet at the same time, the lattice is not all confetti glittered, spaced out. It is very uniform crossing patterns. Now, one of these stones is from Capistrano Mining. I can't remember which one. I was flipping through them extremely fast, as you can see here, yet you can totally tell these are natural stones. They have flaws in them. The lattice is crossing in them. They don't have any weird gold color to them, which makes it very reflective and hard to see into. These are real rainbow lattice pieces of rough. And like I said, one of these pieces, or two, or even three or four of these pieces is from Capistrano Mining, and I guarantee you, if you buy anything on eBay from Capistrano Mining, they are going to be authentic. Now here's a piece of rough that definitely has a glittery sort of pattern to it. But can you see the darker lattices that are running in opposite directions below the glittery pattern? It definitely does not look like those India stones. Those stones from India do not have the look of the Australian rainbow lattice. They have rainbows in them, but they definitely don't look real or authentic to me. So once again, I say, do not buy these stones from India. You are probably going to be buying something that is totally fraudulent, not real, and very, very possibly just a piece of epoxy with some glitter in it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mining America. Don't forget to share it with your friends in any of the social media sites that you frequent. Let them know not to buy this crap-ass garbage off of eBay, and eBay really needs to do something about it. eBay is allowing these fraudulent sellers to rip people off because there's always somebody out there that thinks that they can get an amazing thing for free or for cheap. Hell, I've made myself a victim a couple of times in life by thinking, man, this thing that's way too good to be true, maybe, no, it's too good to be true. Now, there are great deals to be had, and there are sellers that get desperate that will sell you amazing and real gemstones at way cheaper prices than what you would expect to get them for. Yet they are not these guys from India. These guys from India, they're scam artists that are being legitimized by eBay that sell thousands of these stones over years of time, and yet for some reason only have a couple of bad comments. It makes no sense to me. Maybe there's just a bunch of dumbasses out there. Hell, I know there's a bunch of dumbasses out there, but you don't be a dumbass. Don't buy this crap from those guys. Don't give these guys any of your money. Go ahead and save up. Get the real deal from a reputable seller. Get the real gemstone that looks awesome and authentic. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and do all that jazz to this video and my channel. And I love you for watching, and I'll see you soon.